What's up, guys? Jay's Nerdgasm here with Jay's two Barnacles. He's actually in the room, fellas. What is that smell? So, since I've got the one and only Jay's,
the one and only Jay's Barnacles.
So since I've actually got Barnacles in the room, I figured it'd be perfect time for us to do a keyboard review, because who else is more of a keyboard whore than me? So guys, today we're taking a look at the RGB80. I'll be honest, I don't know why it's called 80. Is there 80 keys? Is 10 keys an 80 key versus a 104?
Yeah.
I learned something today. Okay guys, since we got the RGB80 16.8 million color backlit keyboard here from Roseville. It's a mechanical gaming keyboard. We'll go ahead and take a look and see what the hell this thing is all about. Now, just a little disclaimer here. On the box, it does show kind of a varying color grade on here as the different regions of the keyboards are met. This is just photoshopped, really. It says right here on the front that you can only have one color at a time. Will you mute your phone, you freaking amateur?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so feature-wise here, it does have 16.8 million color capable with a firmware update that's coming in the future. 6-level backlight adjustable. What does that mean? 6 levels of brightness? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Anti-ghosting functions. That's good. I hate ghosts.
Screw ghosts. Ghosts are horrible people.
100% mechanical, but it doesn't say what kind of keys they are. It doesn't say anywhere on here if they're Cherry MX or whatever.
Are there any other mechanical switch? I've never heard of another mechanical switch other than Cherry.
There actually are.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I'm looking to see what switches. Now it
has mechanical gaming keyboard switches.
Okay, here's the bottom line with the keys. I've used this keyboard already. The console video, which it's very controversial apparently amongst many people. You guys can hear it's very distinctly clicky. Now I sent them an email and asked them what keys are in this, and they basically replied and said they're like cherry blues. I mean, you see they're clicky.
Yeah.
And they do feel a lot like a blue. And if these are not Cherry MX switches, I couldn't actually tell you what they are because they feel an awful lot like cherries.
That's a pretty keyboard, Jay.
Clearly, it is a 10 keyless keyboard, which a lot of gamers seem to like. Helps keep down some of the cost if you're not using that number pad over there.
And 10 keys are for poor people, Jay.
Yeah.
And accountants.
I would agree. It does have on the bottom here your USB plug it in, channel, all that stuff you'd expect. Rubberized feet that pop out. Big fat rubber feet down here on the bottom for big fat guys like us.
Oh yeah.
Rubberized texture all around. Little embossed RGB, right? RGB,
yeah, it stands for red, green, blue. Yeah.
Yep. Actually kind of looks like an A though.
I know, it's AGB.
AGB80. It's got a nice clean look to it here. We'll get some close-up shots
very
of that.
stealth bomberish.
But you know, the most important part about this is features. What does it feature? What do the colors look like? And what comes in the box. So it's got a 5.9 foot cable. They couldn't quite get that 6 foot. They got a 5.9 foot. But hey, they're honest. What can I say?
I wonder if they accidentally put the wrong connector on and they had to like cut it off and shorten it a little bit.
I know, right?
They're like, oh god, this isn't Firewire.
Now, it's zip tied together. I did that actually. But it's a
it's like paracord.
Yeah, but it's really stiff. That's what
she said.
I like me some stiff paracord, Jay.
So the cord is nice. It's kind of stiff. I wish it was a little longer because I do have a long run from my keyboard to my tower, and most of us do now. Especially if you put your keyboard on the floor. This might not be long enough, but it's kind of the same gripe I have with every manufacturer. So cord aside, they do give you a keycap puller, and they give you some auxiliary keys, but they're kind of different in the sense that keycap puller pretty universal there. But they give you clear keys. I mean, look at that.
They're pretty clear.
They're side printed with clear, so if you wanted color to show straight through, I mean, I guess you could do that. All right, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and just get this thing powered up. Let's get the software loaded, if I can find out how, since it's a CD disc and I don't have a CD drive, and I'm not sure if these are available online yet, since I don't think these are out yet.
We'll figure it out.
And if they are, then I'm just way behind on this review. So yeah, enough about talking about it. Let's go ahead and click on it. Let's see how fast this guy can type on it. I type 100 words per minute. He's up to 130, so I guess that makes you 30% better.
Yeah, you're going to get raped.
You can't say that.
Why not?
I don't know. People get mad.
Logo.
Okay, so the RGB80 here from Roseville. Took me a little bit to figure out the software. I think Mr. Barnacles would have to agree that the software has a little bit of a learning curve that goes along with it.
Oh, yeah.
But fortunate thing with that is software can be improved over time. This is early software for them. I certainly hope it improves. Now, before we get to the software, let's just talk about some of the functionality here of the keyboard. So here's the RGB. We've got profile 1 on here, default, which is blue. As you go through the different profiles, you can have each profile have its own color. It'd be kind of neat if you could do like a disco effect and just kind of let it go. It's advertised as 16.8 million colors, but right now we're stuck to the standard 256.
Including black. Apparently black is a
There was
color.
like 10 blacks on there, actually. Because it was every RGB main prime color all the way adjusted shade down to black. So really, it's not even 256 colors. It's like 9 with every shade of those 9s. But they did tell me in an email that there's a software update coming out that will allow you to get the full RGB. And I'm assuming at that point, what we'll be getting is, like right now, currently, when you go in and you look at the colors and you say LED settings, and you click the color, you just get this, what looks like MS Paint little palette here. But I'm assuming what's going to happen in the future is you're going to get a color wheel.
Yeah,
hopefully. That's probably what's going to happen. And they decided to go ahead and launch the keyboard prior to the software being completely matured. That's not unusual for a lot of companies. I mean, Microsoft does that all the time. And
you shut your dirty whore mouth, Jay.
You can adjust the colors of this by simply, kind of clicking on the, let's see, what color should we make this?
Red.
Well, we already have a red. Let's do...
Red.
Let's just do white. There's no white on the base.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of downside of the software number 1. We're not sure what processors in here. Like a lot of keyboard manufacturers are starting to go with like ARM 32-bit processors, which are good enough for like mobile phones. And when you hit apply and save this, okay, and apply, you can see on the screen right now it says loading. It actually takes a little while.
I think it has like a 1200 baud modem in it, and it's actually connecting up. It's like...
Yeah, it's actually calling the computer right now. See, we're getting a little progress on the load bar. So I do feel that currently the weak link in this keyboard is the software. I really hope that they improve it. But there's macro functions on there. They do have a sync program button where if you click that, pushing the button that you assign can open up a program or some sort of a process. Yeah, see, it's still going. See that? It takes a long time to save your settings to the keyboard, like 30 seconds.
And this is like every
more.
change, even a tiny little
A tiny change, a color, a key macro, something, you have to go through this. And there, it's done. And you can see now we have, well, I thought it was white. I guess it's really, really green, like light green. Maybe I selected the wrong color. But anyway, you can adjust the colors that way. Now, what I'm a little disappointed about, you cannot set individual key colors. I thought you could.
Not the software right now, anyway.
I thought you could. I mean, I know in the box it said that you can't do different zones of colors, but you can't do individual colors either. The whole keyboard or nothing.
It's a little misleading because the box also shows on the front like different regions. Oh, hi guys!
There, let's do this.
The box actually showed different regions of colors on the front in the picture, so you kind of want to assume that you could do that. But right now, anyways, you can't. And I guess we don't know if you'll even be able to do that in the future, right?
We don't know. All I know, the only thing they really talked about in the email with me was that they are going to be making it 16.8 color capable. They have to because they advertised it as such.
Yep.
But who knows what changes they're making to the actual software. And let me turn the camera towards you so you're not nothing but echo. Or the mic, I mean. There we go. How's that?
It's pretty good.
They did advertise it as being 5 brightness adjustable, but I think that's a misprint.
It is.
Because we've only found 3 adjustment levels, 2 zone levels, plus the breathing mode.
Yep.
So I think that was a misprint, because if we hold down the function key and the up and down arrow, we have the first brightness, which is off. It's kind of a given. Brightness number 2 is a medium. Brightness number 3 is full bright. You push it again. It doesn't change, but it's got one of the slowest breathing modes I think I've seen.
Yeah, I'll wait for it. Okay, there it goes.
There.
Can I wait? Oh, here, it's coming back. Coming back. And there we go.
So it's a really slow breathing mode. That's mode number 4. And then if you push it up again, you get like a gamer mode. It's just WASD, arrow keys, enter in the F row.
Yeah.
Or the F8 through 12 anyway, which is your profile settings. And then you do it again, you get, I guess this would be like guns, different guns and
different
shooters.
guns and like macros in Minecraft and
Control, Shift, Caps, Tab. And then you push it again. There's nothing else. So there's just...
So the 5 levels are actually 3 brightness and 2 zones.
3 brightness, 2 zones, plus breathing for 6 total.
Yep.
7 if you want to include off.
And it's also got this...
I take that back. It would be 6 because they count the first brightness as off, which is kind of cheating, but off is they call it a brightness level.
Okay.
So, yeah. But there is other fun stuff. There's like the macro keys, obviously. I mean, I had a little fun here with the F1 macro, as you can see right here on the keyboard. Hopefully you guys can read that. We'll get that. See?
Jerry is a big poo-poo head. Ha 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 ha, he's such a noob. Yeah, so.
That's true. this keyboard, where does it fit in the market? Well, it's the cheapest RGB keyboard so far that I can find. It comes in at $99. It does have its shortcomings, but I think if you're like me, and I can only talk about me, Jerry can give his opinion. I don't use macros. I'm not a macro guy.
I'm not a big macro guy either.
If it doesn't have dedicated macro keys, I'm guaranteed not to use macros.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hit F1 in some other program and it starts typing Jerry is a noob. Like I started to reply to an email to Luke over at Linus Tech Tips, and I hit F1 and it started typing out Jerry is a noob. So it could get you in trouble if you don't have dedicated macro keys.
That's true, but it'd be fun if a friend of yours has one of these. Like I was telling Jay when he's not looking, I'm going to program it so that when he presses the period key, it types something really fast that's obscene and then hits Control-S, which is usually the universal send email code. So hopefully you'll stumble across that while writing
And if you guys start seeing any promotions of Jerry's channel, it's probably he got into the macro settings. So I went in to log into Twitter and it's like, everyone go follow Barnacles, he's awesome, that sort of thing. So
that's exactly what I'm going to do.
It's $99 right now. And I don't think there's any other 10-key... and we did confirm that these are...
Cherry MX Blue switches.
They're actually green light right there, but we'll get a close-up of that. They are MX Blue switches in there. I love blues. Blues are my favorite switch, so I'm going to be using this keyboard.
They're very smurfy.
They're very clicky. I love the click.
And you got the ability to disable the Windows key. So you can switch between game mode and PC mode, which essentially kills the Windows key.
Right, which is kind of the one other negative we found about this keyboard.
Yeah, you can't macro that key.
We've spent about maybe 40 minutes right now playing with the macros. We are trying to macro in some of the Windows command functions so that you could bring up a program. Like we were going to macro in that you push F1 and it brings up notepads and starts typing out Jerry as a noob. But the problem is that if you go into PC mode, they have PC mode, by the way, which they call... that's the only mode where the Windows key works. And if you do function, PC mode, right now the color is purple for that one.
Yep.
The Windows key works, as you can see on the screen behind us. But if you go into any gamer profile...
It's dead.
It's dead. You have no control over that. Every other gaming keyboard I've ever used, you have the option of disabling that key in any profile or enabling it in any profile.
Yep.
So Jerry has a theory as to why they might be doing that.
Yeah, the theory is the Windows key, it's not very deterministic. If you disable it, you can't use it. If you enable it, then it's for system functions. So if you could macro it while it was disabled...
Eyes up here, buddy.
Sorry, I'm like, I can see myself.
Everyone's going to be like, what's he looking at?
Yeah, I know. I didn't even do that with my camera.
I had to get used to that.
So with the Windows key, basically if you disable the Windows key and you were able to create a macro like Windows key D did something, and then you went in and you re-enabled the Windows key where now Windows means to the system to open the system menu, you've now altered the functionality of that key.
Right.
It's not just a macro. Whereas in the macro sense, F1 is always F1 and always does what F1 does. But being able to disable and enable the key changes how it works. So that's why I think that they basically just said, let's not mess with it. Let's just leave it off the menu.
But in Rosewell's defense, I do know I can enable and disable that key, but I have not checked on the other keyboards I have if you can macro that key. I suspect you can't.
That's true. I haven't tried it either. So
that's actually a good test. So guys, the RGB80 from Rosewell, it has all the stuff gamers want. It's a 10 keyless if that's what you're into. I love Cherry MX Blues, my favorite switch. Custom backlighting, any color you want, so you could match it to any color theme. I could go yellow for Skunkworks or red for this PC, green if you're an NVIDIA fanboy, red if you're Team Red. And it's comfortable. You could actually type pretty quick on it.
Yeah.
He typed on it. He really liked the feel of this keyboard. It's heavy, so it doesn't slide. It's got nice rubber feet. It doesn't move around on you. And it's really basic for an RGB keyboard. It doesn't break the bank. I mean, some of these 10 keyless can get $150 or more.
Well, hell, a plain Jane Cherry MX mechanical keyboard can hit $150.
Exactly.
I mean, that's like the middle price point for them.
So, guys, right now it's available over at Newegg. I don't know where else it's available, but it is Rosewell RGB80, 16.8 million colors in the future. Go and check it out, guys. Make sure if you stumbled across this channel, you guys follow us on Twitter. I never had to say follow us. That's weird.
Yeah.
At Barnacles. JayzTwoCents over here. We both have the book face and the other YouTube channel. This guy has one. It's a little channel though. It's not incredibly
it's
popular.
It's just a little itty bitty.
It's only like 121,000. It's a little guy.
Just a tiny one.
So guys, we're gonna get the heck on out of here. I've been hanging out with you too much lately. Yeah, we're gonna see what other trouble we can get in. As always, guys, we'll see you in the next one, which will probably be very soon.
Yeah.